everyone, welcome back to my channel and the third episode of my podcast series. So if you're watching this, this is the video version of the podcast series that I'm doing on International Women's Day or Women's Week. And as you know, I am celebrating, sharing some amazing stories of some truly inspirational women that I've had the privilege of knowing. And yes, today's episode, oh my gosh, I can't quite believe she's agreed to appear on my platform, but hey ho, here she is. I've got the beautiful Clara, and she's just such a beautiful person. I've known her for quite some time now, actually, but I've never had the privy of actually meeting her face to face, but I know her on a personal level. She has my number. So, you know, if you make that transition, right, from being a friend on Instagram and then you exchange number, you know you're bona fide, right? So I'm bona fide with this beautiful, gorgeous chocolate. I mean, look how she's even dressed, like seriously. The pressure, people, the pressure to meet up with her. But I'm going to let her introduce herself and then we are going to get deep into today's episode, which is a different perspective on starting a family using IVF. So if you remember yesterday, we had the gorgeous Lola who shared her story about starting her family by herself as a solo mum. And today I want to flip the conversation and let's talk about starting a family together using IVF and what that was like for Clara. As you all know, I had my beautiful boy, Rox, okay, made by me with the help of science. Okay, so let's hear Clara's story, and I'm going to let Clara introduce herself. So off you go, darling.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes, my name is Clara Chizoba-Kronberg. I am the Managing Director of CCK Ventures and Entertainment Limited. I'm also the founder and host of the show called Women's World Show, where we use the success stories of women to inspire and motivate others and empower women all over the world. Well, I'm so privileged to be here, and it's really humbling that you see me fit to be on your platform. Thank you for having me.
Stop it. You know you're my girl. You're honestly,
my humble introduction.
I've really enjoyed watching your journey through the medium of social media. And so because I kind of know quite a bit about you, but for those that have never had the privilege of seeing your amazing platform and your show, give us a little background to yourself, because I know that you left Nigeria and then you arrived in Europe. So talk us through that part of your life and then we'll pick up from there.
Okay, yes. I'm an Igbo girl from Anambra State, Okija, Ira local government, Anambra State to be precise, in Nigeria. So yes, and I grew up in Onitsha, and Onitsha is in Anambra State as well. So yes, the journey was all about, I didn't grow up in this beautiful, bubble of life, things that I think to be beautiful today, but I had the privilege that, will I say, to have a good parents, a God-fearing parents, and also they always, imbibe in us the, the will I say, the mindset of we don't belong here. We should want more. It's okay to want more. It's okay to dream big, and that's the kind of parents that I have. So it took some time, but I found myself moving country, like moving from Onitsha to Abuja after studying, and Abuja after working a bit. Then moving from Abuja to Ghana to Denmark.
Oh, really? Okay, so you didn't just leave Nigeria straight to Europe. You actually went to Ghana first. So how long was you in Ghana for?
For a couple of years, I'll say 3 years thereabouts, because I was in Ghana Institute of Journalism. That's where I went to journalism school. So it was really, it was kind of that decision of, okay, I want to kind of enhance myself. I'm always curious. I'm always like,
Mm.
oh, something is missing. There's ish somewhere. So I want to
Mm.
really get better. So I left, I started a talk show, women's rock show 10 years ago. This
Oh.
makes it 11 years actually. So I was doing the show, started it, but I was so naive and passionate about it. Fast forward, I knew I needed more knowledge. I knew I wanted more to be able to do this right. So I had no idea of media world, but I had the passion for it. So, and that was why I went to Ghana to study at Ghana Institute of Journalism. So from there, I moved from Ghana to Denmark, and Denmark now in Spain.
Right. So we've gone to Ghana. We've wanted to further our education in journalism. We've done all of the right things. So we've got a plan and focus for our lives, right? So from Ghana, we hop on a plane, and here we are in beautiful Denmark. To walk us through what happened, how your life changed once you got to Denmark.
I think my life changed right from when I started. I've always been very curious, and it started when I took I jumped into this talk show thing. I think that's where my life changed because I wanted more, and I started looking the path, and I knew, okay, I really want to be that person that
Mm.
represents women or something. So I think that's where my life changed actually, if I will, be specific. And then, but let's say yes, moving to Europe was a great opportunity, I must say,
Absolutely.
because things are more easier, and you have constant light, you have internet, it's
Mm.
easier, so and then I got to really see more opportunities and things I can do
Mm.
with things I'm really passionate about. So yeah, culture shock you asked. Yes, of
Yeah, was it
course. Yeah.
cultural? And how long was it before you decided, the both of you decided that actually we want to start a family?
Oh, with my husband, we had how long was it? Oh, maybe after 2 years
Oh,
together. So I knew, of course, he has two children already
oh,
from
okay.
his previous marriage. So, and then, for him, he, of course, is really excited. He really wants this mixed child. And he knew that, of course, he would like to give me a child. And at the same time, he really, really wants it for himself as well, wants a child with me. So, but we took time to enjoy being married, being together. So 2 years after that, I think that's when we then decided, okay, it's time, and then we start trying.
And was it difficult trying to get pregnant naturally? And I don't really like using that word naturally, only because of the theme of our episode. It just makes it easier to make that distinction between IVF and doing it the
Yeah,
way.
it was, I think, or maybe I was just impatient, I would say.
We
I
all
know.
get impatient now, don't we, when we want to have a child?
Exactly, because I really wanted it, and the time it's like the first month, the second month, the third month, the fifth month, the sixth month. It was almost a year, and I'm like, oh, okay, now something has to happen. So yeah, it was challenging to get pregnant, naturally for me, and yeah, we had to seek for help.
Okay, and so who came to that decision? Was it a joint decision? Was it your husband or was it you?
I ran all in. So okay, we were lucky, when I say lucky or privileged to have a friend who owns a fertility clinic. So
Oh.
we just went all in, and I was very impatient. I was so, and my husband, he understood it. He has two kids, not because he doesn't want to have kids with me
Mm.
or a child with me, but just he doesn't mind taking time to do the natural
Oh,
way. But
yeah.
at the same time, for me, I was like, when a woman wants it,
Yeah.
especially me, I'm like, oh, no, 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 now or never. So I was just at that point of now or never. And yeah, we just dived in.
Right, and so when you've gone to your friend, who your dad is like literally lucky, if I may say so, friends with benefits. So when you went to your first appointment, how much did you already know about the different parts of IVF? How prepared were you?
Um, I read about it,
Okay.
but in my mind, I was ready to take whatever that comes with it.
Mm.
Although I record that I kept a diary actually
Oh, did
because
you?
yes, I started writing from day one that we went in, and I have it somewhere here in my office. So it was quite interesting to write what happened, what the doctor said the first time that we went in, and you know, the first time he tried to explain everything. Of course, I've read online, but it's not the same sitting down face to face. And then he sent us back to try insemination to say, okay, let's try this. If it doesn't work, then we don't do IVF, which means the injection and all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I was prepared in my head. I knew there were a lot of challenges that comes with it. That it doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
It might not hold the first time or the second time or the third time, but I was prepared. I was worried, but I said to myself, I'm always, I don't know, maybe sometimes it's too much because I'm always like, what's the worst thing that can happen? I'm always that, what's
Great
the
that
worst
it
thing
used
that
to
can
happen,
happen?
right?
So, and I applied that during that time. So I asked that question, like I said to myself, what's the worst thing that can happen? We try first time, it doesn't work. The second one, I don't mind, I will take it on. Let's keep going. So I was positive, but yes, I was worried. I was kind of, what if it doesn't work? What if, what happens? Of course, the moment you are in this circle already, you are thinking of what if, what if.
Yeah.
But again, I always try to find my way back to the positive thoughts. I think that's the strength that I have.
What did you do
I,
to get you to steer yourself away from having all of those negative thoughts? What exactly did you do to just get you into that really healthy, positive mindset?
I talked to a friend. I have a friend, I have a Danish mom,
Mm.
kind of like my second mom. Is a woman in Denmark who kind of took me up as her mother. So
Mm.
I talk to her and we have coffee and we talk about, after I write my diary, we still
So
sit
you
down
did
and
a
talk
lot. So you
about
did
it.
a lot of journaling,
Yeah,
and then outwardly. So in essence, you did actually have a really great support network.
yeah,
That's really really important when you're
yeah,
doing IVF, whether you're doing it as a single person
yeah,
or as a couple,
yeah,
because oftentimes the stress and pressure of, particularly the medication and everything else, it can put a strain in a couple's relationship. So to know that you did have that support network is really good. And how was your relationship with your husband during the time you were going through IVF? And so did you do injections and all sorts of?
yes, I did all of that, I did all the injections.
How did you?
He helped me sometimes, and sometimes like, okay, I figured it out. Let me take care of it myself. I was always like, oh, I'm always in that category of, what did they say?
I, I thought, you know what, I heard mummy and I thought it was
I did, yeah. Mommy is here. Sorry. You're trying to open the door. Okay, so we have a guest here.
Hey, gorgeous, look.
Hello.
She looks
What
so
is
cool. She tan. She looks like she's picked up a bit of sun.
Yeah, we've been going to the beach for a while these days. Livy, can you go to that?
No.
No?
You can sit in if you want to, darling, but we are having an adult conversation.
No, it's okay. I'll give her pen and paper to write. Do you want to write? Mommy's book. Okay.
I can't cope.
Yes, Daddy.
Now you have a whole show for yourself. All right, go to daddy. Do you want to go to daddy? You can take mommy's pen and go to daddy.
No, let's go.
And come back. Okay.
It's all right, don't worry. And I'm actually not going to edit that out because I think it's really cute.
No.
Right, and so
It's okay, baby.
we were talking about.
It's okay, baby. She can stay. Sorry. You can come and write. Come and write. Write what you are grateful for today in the other book. Write it in. All right, love. Thank you.
Right, so you were just about to tell us about so we've spoken about the support that you got from your Danish mum, and now, sure, will you talk? Yeah,
It's okay.
right, fantastic. And now we want to talk about what was it like in terms of how did you react to the medication? How was your husband? And more importantly, how was your relationship during the period in which you were actively going through the IVF cycle?
I won't lie, it was tough on all of us, I think. I think I remember one night that I was up crying, and of course, if I go through my diary, I will remember exactly why. But I did, it was kind of rough, and I think it was when the first one didn't work out.
Oh,
It,
really? So I thought Olivia was your first
no,
cycle
no,
was successful.
no.
All right, so let's talk about that. Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
So it was we the whole injection and all of
Yeah.
that. So we were lucky. We had 11 eggs that was collected from me, and only 5 was fertilized. Only 5, yes, fertilized. So then we used the first one, and it didn't work out. So it was more like, okay, it stayed like almost 2 months, but then it kind of, would I call it a miscarriage or something?
Miscarriage, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
miscarriage. That's what it is.
but
I got
so
10 eggs.
yeah, oof, that was rough. I think that's when it became a little bit like ish. It was rough on us, but we had each other back. He was very supportive because he doesn't understand what I was going through, but he was supportive of it. He was like, you know what, we'll keep trying until this works. Yes. So yeah, it was really rough. But I remember this very well, vividly. One night I was up and I called my Danish mom. I was speaking with my mom, but you know, my mom is like my mentor anytime, any day. Was bless her soul. But this my Danish mom, she had a different level of experience as well. So I kind of know when to reach out to who. So she was the one I was calling that time, my Danish mom, and then we talked about it, the challenges I was having, and my feelings and everything. So she kind of understood it. Yes, darling. Wow, you wrote all that. Thank you so much, baby.
What did you find? What did you find most difficult during your first cycle, and then having to go through it, the whole process again?
I think is the. I think I had hormone,
Yeah,
emotions.
yeah, your emotions up and down, because they do say it's like a roller coaster of emotions when you do IVF.
Yeah, so I had the emotion roller coaster kind of, but I was also intentional because I've read about things like that. So I tried to exercise more. I was exercising more, but I'm also, when you're doing something, you're also like, oh, is it the exercise that's making it not to work? You know,
Now looking for reasons why it's not working.
Yeah.
Why it's not work. Yeah.
All those silly thoughts running around your head. So I think that's what I was going through. Yes, darling, you can do. So I think that's what that happened. That was the most challenging thing, the whole emotional, thing.
What did you find most challenging from the first cycle into going into your second cycle?
It's the emotional roller coasters generally. I think that was the most challenging thing. But we had each other. My husband was very supportive. he wanted to be part of it, part of the process, and he was willing to listen to my blah blah blah. So it helped a lot. So he was all into it. So that helped a lot. But
Fantastic.
it was challenging.
It
Yeah.
was. And so when you did it the second time, was it one embryo or two embryos that they put back the second time round?
One.
Yeah, oh, you only did one. Was that a decision made by you or the clinic? Would you have preferred two or one?
I mean, if I had known, I would have done two. But in Denmark, I don't think it was allowed at the moment.
Oh wow.
So I think so I would be like, okay, we just do one at a time because we had six. Yeah, we had six, and then one was already out, so we have five left. So we don't want to play too much to avoid, going through the beginning process all over again. So I just say, okay, let's take it one at a time. Whatever happens. Yeah.
I had two embryos, you know.
I would have loved that though, but I don't think it was allowed actually.
And
I'm not
actually,
sure.
was your mindset different second time round when you did your treatment second time round? Did you just feel a lot more, okay, I'm more comfortable with the process now, and yeah, I'm going to just think differently? What was your state of mind at that point?
I think I was more calmer, I would say, yes, but more nervous as calm and anxious and excitement. I think it just mixed feelings, because I can't really remember place it all together. But again, I journaled everything, so I think it's very important to. What I did was more like, okay, focus on trying to avoid again the whole okay, maybe not, I shouldn't exercise so much, being too careful, you know. So I was careful and I was excited, I was nervous, I was mixed, so many feelings running around. So.
And what was your girlfriend's like? Did you feel as though you could have, you could be open and honest around your girlfriends, or did you just feel like, actually, I don't want no one to know. I just want to know. I just want my husband and my mum and close family to know this is what we're doing.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, I didn't tell any friend, I only told my family. It was just a close family thing,
And so now we've got the embryos inside of us, actually one embryo, and now we have to wait. What was the waiting game like for you?
Yeah, again, really, excited and at the same time nervous. So I was just hoping that this will work. So my period was supposed to come, like, was 1 week late, and then I was like, oh, maybe this is it. And then I didn't want to say anything. I was making calls like, God, I've lost my period. Was exciting. It was exciting. It was really a beautiful moment, and I had to wait like a week plus to make sure that maybe there's something before I did the test, and it was
It
positive.
was
So.
positive. So we've got the positive test result. Was you super, super nervous? Was there an element of a fear within you that, oh my gosh, I've been pregnant twice now. The first one didn't go too well, and now I'm pregnant again. Oh my gosh. Could you enjoy that moment, or did you have all of those thoughts running in the back of your mind second time?
No. The first feeling was, of course, the excitement, like
Yeah.
positive. Yay, okay, pregnant, but shh, let's not say to anybody.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able, after 3 months, to make sure that everything is okay. And once it's like past the 4th month, then we can now talk about it. And I was so sick. Oh,
Was
I
you?
was,
Did you have
I
really
was
bad pregnancy sickness?
I was so sick I couldn't even drink water. That was how bad it was. So I had to be yes, I was on drips all the time. So it was that bad. It was really, really bad. But the moment I clocked 3 months, I woke up one morning and I was like a brand new person.
Felt normal. And so during the time you were doing IVF, was you also doing your business? Had you started your business, or was that part of your life on hold? And actually, what was more important for you at that stage was to start a family. Where were you in terms of your business goals?
Yeah. When I moved to Denmark, it was important for me to integrate again. I moved to Denmark with love in my heart. I was in love. I'm still in love, but that big love in my heart, and I was just flying. It's like or just over the wind. I wasn't seeing clearly.
You were walking on cloud nine, is what you were doing.
Yes, exactly. I was walking on cloud nine. But the thing is, the whole excitement in my mind, I was willing to give it all to be part of the society.
You were committed.
Yes, I was committed. I was committed 135, 150%, to speak the language, to eat the food. I cook anything called Danish food, not for any reason, but I just feel that it makes me feel integrated. It makes me feel part of the society. It's not to please anybody, but I'm just that curious, I have that curiosity in me all the time, to be part of something. So, and that was, I threw myself in, but again, I couldn't do much because one, you have to get your education to the level of, Scandinavian like slash EU standard.
Yeah.
You have to you have to do that, so many things. So I now started exploring YouTube. So I did my personal YouTube, which is more like, just camera thing because I love the camera. I love to, just talk and show stuff and all of that. So I did all of that. So that was what I was doing during that period. Just doing things that I love on YouTube as a person, as an individual. But then I was into the pregnancy, and the whole thought of what I was doing kept on coming back and back, and back. Like it kept on knocking at the door, like you still have to go back to this, remember that, remember that. So and that was how I started working on it again. It's gradually, 2017 was when I started actually. Because I gave birth to Olivia November 3rd, 2016. So in 2017, yes, in 2017, I gradually start building the whole platform again, Women's World Show, restarting the show, then the company gradually on my own. It took me about 1 year to establish that, and then almost 2 years.
That's really interesting, because I think now we can lead nicely, because now we've been successful in to start a family. We've had a long journey up and down, just an emotional roller coaster. We've suffered loss, and at the same time, something that you had sown a seed 10 years ago, you still had that niggling feeling at the back of your mind. Don't matter what you were doing, even though at that moment in your life, your priority then was to obviously start a family. But during that whole process, you never once neglected to still pursue personal development, still educate yourself, still assimilate into your new culture, your new home and your new country. But you still had that seed that you had sown all those years ago. It was still there burning. And then you decided that, okay, after I've dropped the baby, don't mean drop it physically, but after I've had the baby, this is what I want to do. So talk us through how you came up with the concept, and why is it so incredibly important to you that you do champion and raise the profile of women?
Oh, thank you for that. Women's World Show is like my baby. Yes, you saw Olivia, but the Women's World Show is another baby that I have. Like I carry so much on my heart. 10 years ago when again, this year makes it 11 years actually. So 10 years ago, 11 years ago when I started the talk show, I started it with so much passion, because I was seeing some struggles some women are going through in Nigeria. Where I was, and especially where I was working then, women will come in and they will talk about what he did, what they say, but they can do anything because of what the society will say or do at that time. And that has changed a bit though now, but I still think that then that was, my drive to really like, why can't you just walk away? Like, it's not working, go away. You have a child, why can't your child call you mommy? Why would your child call you auntie?
Yeah.
Instead of because you are trying to avoid the whole stigmatization and what the guys call you after one because you had a child. I was like, why can't you own it? Like, own this thing. Being a single mom is not that, it's not a crime. There's
Absolutely.
circumstances that leads to this, so it shouldn't be a crime or assault then. So those are the things that really got me into it. And whole domestic, I knew somebody who were in a domestic violent relationship, domestic violent marriage kind of. That one really pushed me to like, okay, I need a platform. I want to create a platform where women can come in and talk about, their thing and all of that. So that was how I started Women's Workshop years back. And again, I had the passion, but I didn't know what I was doing in terms of media business side of it. I had no idea. But fast forward to why I relaunched this show or rebranded the show again in Denmark. Again, after when I was pregnant with Olivia, the whole thing was just coming up again. It's like I was having a dream. It's like when I sleep, it disturbs me.
I
Like
know that feeling. Preach, sister. Loudest,
you
loudest
have to
person
go back.
for that. Yes.
Yeah, you have to go back. You have to go. It's like it's time to go home. It's like a home. So I started. I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do it? Start doing all the research. So it was all those disturbance of everything. I think it's just experience, exposure. I've really learned so much. I've gone outside Nigeria, where the whole passion started. Where the idea was birthed, but the passion was still even more. And then I've seen more of women and things that we can do. I was like, damn, there's so much we can do. There's so much out there that the world needs to hear that we are powerful, we are stronger together. And I'm naively, believing in that because people think it's naive of me to think that women can actually support each other. But this is something I strongly, strongly believe. And hence why I rebranded, the show again. And it was a moment to always remember. So December 6th, 2018, we relaunched Women's World Show. It was, I don't know, it was phenomenal.
So for anyone listening now, okay, walk us through the various stages, because I think it's really important that people understand that in order, whatever success looks like for you, okay,
Yeah.
you don't wake up one day suddenly and then bam, right? Everything that we do in the pursuit of our dreams, because you've got to remember everything's created twice, right? First in the mind and then in reality. Okay, so I imagine that you would have done a lot of research. You probably would have had a good number of rejections, a good number of no's. Now we've also got to figure out where we're going to get the finances from, who we're going to, build up our little team, if you will. So talk us through what you actually went through to get to that launch date of rebranding Women's World Show, because it's really important, because you've shared where you started from, shared starting a family, and it's difficult for us women to start a business or even have a really demanding job as well as being a mother and a wife, even if you're single. Do you know what I mean? These are really, we juggle so many caps and so many things up in the air. I don't want anyone to look at you and, and just think, oh my gosh, she's so gorgeous. Of course, course she's successful. She's, she's in Europe.
She's married to a white man, so she has...
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. She's got a foreign husband. Of course, of course it's easy for her. But I know a little bit about your background story. So I know for a fact that it hasn't been an easy road. And I really want you to highlight that so that anyone that's listening, not only can they be inspired about your story, they can also feel inspired that, what you see now is just a byproduct of a passion that I've had some 11 years ago. And the only difference between me and you is the fact that I had a plan. I went out there, I put myself out there. I took the rejections, not as a negative, not something personal to myself. And I just walked through them. So yeah, walk us through that.
Well, the other day I saw something online. Somebody said, she wrote on a blog, that she asked her husband for a fund to start a business, and the husband told her to write a proposal to make a
proposal.
presentation.
Yeah. Let's make it.
So exactly. So I was like, people were like, wow, really? So I was like, oh, really? You think because you are the wife, you just ask for the money and it just, I don't know, it depends on how it works in different households. But to clear some notion and to be able to lead the path of what it was to actually launch or rebrand the show. Before then, bear in mind that I started this show without my man being there.
Yeah, so you started from ground zero, right?
Exactly, when he wasn't even there, when he wasn't even existing. So, and I started it all by myself, and I started a company running by myself, naively running it, but I did, But then moving to a new country, and I had the whole thing to start it all over again. You have to make a proper proposal, proper presentation. I hate the numbers, but I had to do it, to be realistic, to put those things, the numbers, like, okay, this is how much we're going to use for this, and this is the expectation of return of investment, and this and that. Yes, you're passionate about it, but you got to make something out of it as well. And so the struggles all start with, okay, registering a company in Denmark. And then, okay, how does that work? Your accountant, how will you put that together? What about tax? You need to learn all of that. Then you have to now be on top of, okay, I'm going to find a team, because I can't direct I know what I want, but somebody has to see what is going on behind the camera. So you need those teams to put work together. And you need people that are actually professional. And because the standards are, the standard I want, I know exactly what I want to put out there. So I have to find the people who actually will feel the passion that I feel. Maybe they will not as I would, but at least to a certain level to be able to.
Did you post in the local newspaper or website?
No.
Do a lot of networking to build your team?
I think, well, lucky enough, when I was in language school, I met somebody who he's a photographer, videographer, kind of. He's not a cinematographic guy, but he's a videographer and a photographer, like on a professional level, but not a cinematographer.
Yeah.
So, and I needed a cinematographer who would really understand the field. So I reached out to him first. He connected me to other people that knows other people, and then we now found our real, as in the strong cinematographer that we used at that moment. And then, I had another team, my editor team, we are working from Barcelona. Don't ask me how. So I had to go, I sometimes go to Barcelona to, meet them first, to make sure everything is in place, to look at the work and see, okay, how we're going to do it, what's going to happen, every phase of it. And then before we start using Zoom to, continue the work. So building that relationship. So I was using a producer who is in Barcelona, an editor who is in Barcelona, IT management who is in Nigeria, and then
like different people around the world, essentially.
all over the place. So I have a few people on the ground, the camera people, the makeup or whatever. But the most important people were on ground, as in the production team were on ground, but the post production and pre-production are more or less scattered everywhere around the world. So it was the struggle, and then finding the location. These
Yeah,
also a struggle because you have to convince people why they should give you their space
yeah,
for free,
yeah,
things like that, or for partnership, partner collaborate. This is the part that people don't really get, that oh, you don't just walk in and own a space. No,
yeah.
you have to ask for a partnership, or you have to pay for it, and paying for it means that you have to pay a whole full cost
Hmm.
for, oh, don't even, I don't even, that
How
part
was
was,
so how was that? How were you able to build up your credibility in order
yeah,
for businesses and individuals, particularly women, because I know that's your main focus, but I have also seen some of your series where you've gone into Michelin star restaurants.
yeah.
I know all of this because before lockdown,
Yes.
the only place I was eating. So, how did you build up your credibility, your trust, if you will, in order for people
Yes.
to invite you into their establishment, into their home, and be willing to, share their stories? How did you do that?
It's a good question, actually. I think it was absolutely, in the beginning, it was really
Of
challenging
course.
because I have to explain myself. And but what I needed is that
You just need one yes.
one person to take a
One
chance on me.
yes.
And I was lucky.
I have that
I
on.
just need one. Yes, yes, exactly. So, and that was what I needed. So, I think one top brand took a chance on me and said, you know what, Clara, we don't know, but you're a nice lady. You're working hard. You just did that. Okay, let's try. Let's see what happens. I like, trust me, you are on top. Like when I say I deliver, I deliver.
Okay, so that's brilliant. So how did you feel when you got your I just need my one yes? How did that make you feel? Did you feel nervous? Because now you're thinking, I've got to deliver on
Yeah.
what I've promised. And actually, this is make or break. Because I imagine if you hadn't been able to fulfill or deliver on that project, it would have been really difficult for you to build up your brand and your business. So how did you?
Yeah, I think also it started long before then because I have long been I've long disciplined myself about my yes and my no. I don't mix those things together, you
Yes.
know. And I always make sure I think things through and make sure that if I say yes, I mean that. And it took me a long time to actually build that, mindset and build that credibility for me alone, because I have to convince myself that I am trustworthy. I trust you, Clara. I trust that you say yes, you're gonna stand on that yes. That's what I did first for me before somebody else, before I'm able to deliver it to someone else. So I built that credibility for me first. And when I got that first test, I'm like, I bet you will not regret it. Because I already know I won't, I won't, disappoint. I,
Yeah.
I, I knew I won't. Circumstances might come up, but I knew I would not disappoint.
That's fantastic. So you've had your first client, right? And then now we're building up into those that follow you, but I'm going to leave all of your details in the description box, to the brand and business that we have today. So, given that the vast majority of the world has been on lockdown, how has that adversely, or has it been a blessing in disguise for your business? Has it affected your business, or have you seen it as a new opportunity to strategize and meet and still continue the beautiful work that you do in championing women and business?
I think I took advantage of it, I would say. It was the first 1 week was, of course, whoa, 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 whoa,
Yeah,
what's happening?
I think we're
So,
all
but
like that.
yes, but I'm always kind of plan A, B, C, D. to maybe to G, and then I stopped there. So, and I had to jump into the G plan. So I took advantage of it and start something I've always wanted. I've always had the production company on, doing which produces my show, Women's Watch Show, which is CCK Ventures, a production company based in Marbella now, but was in Denmark. So I had to take advantage of that because and get more engaged and get more visual, more online, oriented. So I took advantage of that moment and said, okay, let's develop the company, outside Women's Watch Show, even though I was working my butt out in Women's Watch Show, but I still want to make sure that we deliver to other clients. We have our clients rolling in on their own side and the team are doing their job. So I think I took a little advantage of it, but it's not easy, because again, I'm still proving myself to people.
Yeah.
It's not, there was a day I was ranting about stereotyping because one, you're a woman, you're a Black Nigerian woman, and then you're a Black woman. So it's a whole lot of things,
Yeah, actually,
other than you are a producer and a TV talk show host.
You've actually preempted my next question, because I was going to ask you, have you experienced any kind of not racism proper, but do you find that being a woman of color in a foreign country, has that been difficult for you to get your foot in the door for certain projects or for certain interviews? How have you coped with that?
Yeah, I have experienced it, but I'm also this person that, again, I've intentionally built a positive aura around me, that when I walk in, you hear me, you see me, and you ask, who is this? So I intentionally built that. But some people see it as snot, some people see it as, who the hell are you? You're just a woman, and the Black woman at that, and you're living in, I have had experience.
Don't you find that that response and that attitude interesting? Because as women of color, if we show that we are confident, right, it's sometimes it's almost turned to be like we're being arrogant. But if our counterpart, a non-woman of color, displays the same level of confidence that we do, then it's deemed as, oh, she's strong.
No, the thing is, they automatically look at you or to me like, oh, she's married to a rich white man. It is what let's call it what it is, But I've also come to a point to if is it that you want it or you don't. I don't plead for it anymore, because I believe that at some point when you have paid your dues in some levels, you believe in yourself, you believe in what you can offer or what you have. Again, I always say that I'm not asking for a seat on your table. I'm a whole banquet on its own. So if you want to come in, you're welcome.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, but again, why not? So it was really challenging. It still is. I feel this sometimes, but I don't let it get to me. Now, I've walked into a place. Of course, my name is Clara Kronberg. Hi, my name is Clara Kronberg. So sometimes I think Clara Kronberg is not really like African name, so it's more international kind of. So I announced that intentionally, start saying Clara Chisaba Kronberg. By the time you pronounce that middle name, oh, this is an African descent, or is someone who is not really, maybe not Black, or somebody that is a Black or something. So so I just became intentional about it. I walked into this meeting, the lady literally turned me down.
Really?
Because I won't say it's because I'm Black, but maybe she wasn't expecting me. Yeah, so I think that's the way I won't say it's because I don't want to make it racist thing, but I want to just say maybe she was like, okay. And I came with all my glory, so it was too much.
How did that make you feel?
I was a little bit, like, really, did you just Did you just? I don't know. I always have a way of, dusting out shade, and then I'll talk about it. I'll call somebody else, "Ugh," and then I'm okay. Yeah, it's fine.
Right. So, what is the future for Women's Worldwide Show? Where do you see yourself and your amazing platform in the next 5, 10 years? What are your dreams for your production company and indeed your business?
Well, for the production company CCK Ventures and Entertainment Limited, I'm really, really hoping, and we're working towards to be able to, get into film industry and really make really, blockbusters that are really amazing and stand out as Black women in woman in Europe, or Black-owned, production company in Europe, per se. And of course, I want to merge, I always say this, I want to merge, European and Africans together through my platforms, through my company. And we want to show I want to show Africans, I'm really, really itching to show Africans that are living in Europe, things that they're capable of doing. I want to show us in our glory in terms of what we're capable of doing, not just the, the four or the bougie, in what is and what is here. That's what I want to show us in that positive light. And I want to tell our story, through the production company, our short films, long films, and all of that. So, and I want a big collaborations that are really, really, quite inspiring and will give enough, will I say, opportunity for other Black people in Europe and of course in Africa. For Women's World Show, I'm really hoping, but we have this making of entrepreneur, which I go back home in Nigeria to empower
Yeah, please
women.
talk about.
And we have something cooking at this moment. I'm not gonna spill so much, but I'm hoping for this big collaboration to making of entrepreneur and to really reach out to massive women and make a huge impact, to creating opportunities, impacting in our economic development, and really giving that, I think financial freedom is just, it would be great. And finally, at some point, Women's Workshop, we will give opportunities to women who want to be reporters, journalists, give them avenue to come in and grow, just fly if you want to. This is the platform for it. We can all be fabulous.
We can. You know what? We can all get our own blue ribbon at the fair. Seriously, it's not a competition, and that's something that I really wanted to highlight.
No, I believe in it. We can all be fabulous.
Yeah,
we can all support each other.
there's enough room for all of us, like seriously. So just finally, before we round up this amazing interview, how important is it for you that Olivia sees everything that you do, that you are her main role model? How important is it that you set the example and set the tone for the amazing young lady that she will grow into?
Of course, it's very important to me, but I try not to pressure myself as well. Because we already have this mother guilt, going on all the time. Sometimes you ask the question, oh, am I doing something wrong? Or should I have been doing that? Why I'm doing this, So, but I try not to put so much pressure. I try to be realistic to her. I try to show her the real things, this is beautiful, look nice all the time. But girl, in real life, shit happened. Sorry. No, I don't say it like that, but I mean, in real life, people, because there's something like when she's doing something and you tell her it's not right, that she has to do better, she feels, sometimes she cries about it or feels sad about it. They're like, it is okay, it is okay to be, for someone to recommend you or kind of advise you to do something in a different way, because you will get that all the time. Yeah. So I try to be more real with her, and I try not to pressure myself so much. So I take it by today and hope to be the best that I can be. And I hope I'll be, her greatest role model. And I hope, like my mother is to me, even though she doesn't live anymore, I still look up to her. I still close my eyes and say, what will she do? How will she do this? So I hope she sees me in that way, but
I'm
we
sure.
can only do the best we can do.
That's it. I'm sure she does. And one final thing, what advice would you give to anyone, particularly a woman or a guy, that are struggling to start a family and they're potentially thinking about starting this amazing journey that has lots of ups and downs, lots of roller coasters, that is IVF?
Yes. Um, if I tell you that you won't worry, I'll be lying to you. I think allow yourself to worry. But I think what I will advise is first of all, if you're doing it with your partner, you know, just you guys should be more together. You know, that partnership or that relationship should be, the main goal. The focus should not be on getting the baby or becoming pregnant, because if not, you lose the main purpose and it will be all about pregnancy, pregnancy, pregnancy.
That's
And
really
then the
great.
fun is out of it. So I think, focus on building the bond with your partner or husband or wife, and allow yourself to feel sometimes. It is okay, because you will definitely feel, those mixed feelings or whatever. Just feel sometimes, but don't fall into them.
Fantastic.
Grow out of it and allow yourself to be the best that you can be while enjoying the process.
That's it. And finally, tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Well, thank you so much for this beautiful interview. You can find me and all that I do at www.womenswatchshow.com, or you can check out claracromberg.com, or you can go to cckventures.eu. Is all everything about the production company is on cckventures.eu. About me is on Instagram. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Women's Watch Show, and on YouTube, Women's Watch Show TV. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Obviously, guys, I'm going to change. I'm just going to quickly change the view. We do full screen. Oh, done it all wrong. Bear with me. Clearly, I don't know.
No problem.
That's better. Obviously, I'm going to leave all of Clara's information in the box below, so you can definitely, you know what, I'm not even saying if you can, just follow her, is what I'm saying.
Thank you. Thank
Follow
you.
her. She's absolutely amazing. She's got a heart of gold, and I'm pretty sure that everything that she shared on today's episode, on her episode, it will be of immense value to you. I know I've learned a lot. Like, I thought she just left Nigeria and just turn up in Denmark, but no, that's not the case. So it's been an amazing interview. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much also for inspiring not just me, but everyone that listens to this episode. And tomorrow's interview, guys, oh gosh, it's going to be a bit of a tearjerker. So, get your tissues, because I'm going to be speaking to an amazing young widow called Ola, and her backstory, really quickly: she lost her husband. This will be the 3rd year. She was pregnant, and we're going to explore what it's like coexisting with grief, leaving your country to start up a new life in a foreign country and starting a business. So look out for that tomorrow. But in the meantime, guys, be great, because you are. Say goodbye, Clara.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye.